The Murderbot adaptation on Apple TV Plus gets off to a fast start, with several revelations regarding Alexander Skarsgård's titular Secunit and its people that require analysis. The Murderbot Diaries books by Martha Wells served as the inspiration for the television series, which has already shown itself to be an incredibly accurate adaptation of the sci-fi comic thriller Short Tales. The cast of Murderbot has done a fantastic job of bringing the vibrant characters from the books to life, and they are all just as nuanced and multifaceted as those in the book. Murderbot is a bit complicated, even though its faithful adaptations and fascinating characters make it one of the best TV series available on Apple TV+. Viewers were immediately thrust into a sophisticated sci-fi universe featuring sec units, a mystery company, modified humans, and enormous centipede-like monsters in the two-episode premiere of Murderbot. The majority of these aspects are handled by Murderbot naturally, but some things might still require explanation, particularly for viewers who haven't read the books before. Fortunately, Murderbot's fidelity to Martha Wells' works also makes it simple to forecast what will happen with Murderbot and Preservation in the future. What really happened to the DeltFall team? In the Murderbot books explained, Mensa, Noma Dumezweni, and the other Preservation O members attempted to get in touch with DeltFall, the other survey team that was on the same planet as them, at the very end of Murderbot Season 1, Episode 2. Preservation O sought to find out if DeltFall could explain some of the oddities they saw in their planet surveys and maps, but even their Secunit had been destroyed, and the DeltFall squad had been massacred. The DeltFall squad was obviously slain by something, but Mensa chose to go into it and find out why DeltFall wasn't responding. The mystery will be thoroughly examined in Murderbot Episode 3, but the solution is already known from the novels. Murderbot and Preservation O visited DeltFall's habitat in All Systems Red and looked into the tragedy there. There, the Secunits had been hijacked, and a shadowy organization called Grey Chris had hacked their combat overrides to force the Secunits to destroy the DeltFall survey, as Murderbot found out. Before Mensa and the other humans could save it, one of the sec units even attempted to install the same combat override on Murderbot. What was that weird gravity well Mensa found in Murderbot? Aside from DeltFall, one of the larger mysteries of Murderbot Season 1, Episode 2 was the weird gravity well that Mensa uncovered, while she and Bharadwaj, Tamara Podemsky, were out investigating. One of the centipede-like creatures that attacked Bharadwaj in the premiere appeared to be sucked in by the anomaly as Mensa discovered it, and it even destroyed one of the drones. The anomaly was eventually shown to be the remains of an extraterrestrial civilization that existed on the Earth long before Preservation O showed up, as Rathi Akshay Khanna recounted. Daniel Dastmalkian's character Gathan revealed that the map outages they were seeing were due to alien leftovers. The remainder of Murderbot Season 1 is significantly impacted by the existence of alien leftovers. Any planet with extraterrestrial vestiges is instantly closed to surveyors and only accessible for archaeological excavations, as Pin Lee, Sabrina Wu stated. Readers of All Systems Red are also aware that the attack on Preservation O's and the death of DeltFall were caused by the alien leftovers. In order to keep the other survey teams from disclosing the presence of the extraterrestrial relics, Grey Chris attempted to murder them while searching for them to resell on the illicit market. Arada, Pin Lee, and Rathi's love triangle in Murderbot explained. Murderbot Season 1, Episode 2 featured a new romantic storyline in addition to all the conspiracies and frightening animals. In Murderbot Episode 2, Arada, Tatiana Jones, Pin Lee, and Rathi began a polyamorous relationship. Nevertheless, a refresher of the specific dynamics would be helpful. As it happens, Arada and Pin Lee were already wed before the start of the voyage. Pin Lee didn't have a crush on Rathi, but Arada did. Rathi, however, is infatuated with Pin Lee. Pin Lee consented to sign a contract that made them a throuple, and it is likely that she, Arada, and Rathi had intercourse. Since the polyamorous connection between Arada, Pin Lee, and Rathi is a recent addition to the Murderbot series, it is somewhat more unexpected. As Murderbot develops, the different levels of attraction at play in the love triangle might easily lead to further drama and tension between them in the future. Arada may feel envious that Pin Lee is more interested in him than she is, and Pin Lee may grow envious of Arada's obsession with Rathi, but it's unclear how that network of jealousies might affect Murderbot's future developments. Why Gathan is more suspicious of Murderbot than the rest of Preservation Hooks. Maintaining after Murderbot consoled Arada, O soon discovered that it wasn't a typical sick unit, but the scientists' reactions varied. While the majority of the squad was somewhat cautious of Murderbot, Gathan was adamantly opposed to it, even forcing Murderbot to look him in the eye. Gathan is wary of Murderbot since he sees how many abuses of its powers Murderbot is committing. Sec units should not be able to console others or experience feelings like social anxiety, as these are indications that it has gone awry. Only Gathan is aware of the complete ramifications of a renegade Sec unit. Additionally, it appears that Gathan is getting some additional characterization in the Murderbot series that wasn't in the novels. Mensah and the rest of Preservation O stated that Gathan had good reason to distrust the company and all of its associated entities while he was venting his frustrations against Murderbot. Gathan appears to have a fresh backstory from Murderbot, possibly a negative experience with company-affiliated bots in the past, which makes him more suspicious of Murderbot than his colleagues. What happened in Murderbot's memory of the massacre? Murderbot's fragmented recollections of an unnamed atrocity were yet another mystery introduced in Murderbot Season 1, Episode 2. Murderbot was a reconditioned model, and when it was upgraded, it informed Gathan that its memory was erased. Murderbot's system does, however, still harbor some fragmented images of a slaughter, and it shows a strong need to avoid delving into them. Murderbot discovered an artificial condition that it had been compromised while working on a contract for a Ganaka pit mining operation, and the malware it had been infected with caused it to murder 57 people. A competitor of Murderbot tried to undermine the business to which Murderbot was contracted during the term of the agreement. All of the operation's Sec units, however, were compelled by their attack to lose their minds and attack any living thing they saw. The majority of the victims of the malware attack were comfort units, which Murderbot referred to as sex bots, who were attempting to defend human miners. Murderbot thinks that was a contributing factor in its initial decision to hack its governor module, even though its recall is hazy. In any case, Murderbot feels a great deal of guilt over the Ganaka pit tragedy, and it may become a key area of concentration for the company in the future.